that kind of stands out because we're not trying to shove everything in your face. We're not trying to. You can't compete with the team sites. You can't compete with the people that are in the locker rooms, and we don't like to do that. You know what I'm saying? So we're just kind of having fun. And a guy who actually, like I said, I built a network. I was running 6 shows a week, you know, and trying to build up an audience and trying to build up numbers. Even back then, the tracking wasn't as advanced as it is now. You know, you just couldn't do it. So. Yes, this is more enjoyable, and the team creates the story, and you know, me and you have kind of built a nice mix here, and the fans obviously enjoy it, and we can't thank everybody enough for doing that. But just so everybody knows, if you're listening to me and Kevin for the first time, or this is the first season, I know most of you guys have heard of Kevin. You know, as far as me coming on board, you know, we were doing this. What is it? It's 2020. This is going back 10, 11 years we were doing this, man.
I started my blog, the first year I started was 2007. It was November of 2007. Yeah. I mean, 13 years ago. It's crazy. I mean, and to think about, and at that time, there was no Twitter. I don't think, or maybe it just started.
It just started, but it was nowhere near.
Yeah.
That
stuff just wasn't around.
Yeah.
Just what, and like you said, you know, watching the sort of growth of it, like the stats. Yeah, I would, you know, had the, you know, site meter, you know, on my blog, and I remember, you know, when I first started, like the first month, I was getting like 3 views a day, and it was like my 3 buddies who I like begged to read, you know, the blog, and they, you know, they would make fun of me. They'd be like, "Dude, what are you doing?" And then just
come on
and
out, have life.
And it, you know, and to see the progression, you know, and I'm sure you went through it too, where it was 3, you know, my 3 buddies, and then it was 50 people, and then, you know, it's 100 people, and like you looked at, like you had the milestones, you know, and you were like, oh my God, 100 people? This is, you know, this is a day? This is amazing, you know, and you're just like, wow, it probably can't get better than that. And then it was 300, and then it was 500, then it was 1,000 a day, and then, you know, 2,000 a day, and you're just
and
like,
you bought a Rolls Royce.
Yeah, I wish. I was lucky if I could buy a Matchbox car for my son, you know, with the money I was making. But yeah, I mean, it is crazy to just go through the sort of the progression of it, and you know, that it, you know, works out. I mean, it is nice to see that you do put in. If I was doing all that stuff I mentioned and I was still getting like 10 people, I probably would have stopped. But, you know, as the audience kept, you know, getting bigger and bigger, like you said, you sort of, you know, felt like you owed it to everybody, like, to do stuff like that. You know, you owed it to them to have a great article or a post or put a contest together or whatever it was. You know, you felt the pressure to do that. So it was an interesting time to go through it, an amazing experience. I met so many great people. It's great. Like, I still talk to people on Twitter and Facebook and social media, on people, you know, who were there from like day one.
Yeah.
You know, people who were there at the very beginning. I still, you know, we still have inside jokes, you know, that from like, you know, way back when, and it's so much fun. And the two of us that we're still doing this, you know, that we're still, you know, texting each other and talking. Now we have a podcast, and, you know, it's amazing that, you know, you build like real friendships through this stuff. It's amazing. And that, you know, that's the sign of a real good, I mean, to me, a real good blog, a real good podcast, or, you know, whatever it is that you're putting together, is that you know, you have that personal connection. You make that real sort of emotional connection with people, where people feel like they know you. Not even feel like it. They do know you. They know about you. They know what you're about. You know, they know where you live, that you're married, you
drink.
have kids, and exactly that. I drink White Claw. I enjoy Elio's Pizza is my favorite frozen pizza. You know, did you see Dave Portnoy at Barstool Sports? He did his pizza review on Elio's Pizza the other day. It was fantastic. But that's, I mean, that's the sign of, you know, that's how you connect with people. If you look at, you know, the blogs that make it, or the podcasts that make it, are the ones that have that connection. It's not necessarily the ones that have the, you know, the best statistics or the best knowledge or that kind of thing. It's the ones where you can connect with people, and you have real, you know, beyond just the blog or the podcast, is through the social channels or, email. I used to email, my readers, and we'd have back and forth. And back in the day when email mattered, when you got an email and you were looking forward to reading it, it wasn't just all spam. That was, that was it. That's how you kept readers, on board. So, definitely fun to been there in that beginning part to come to now, because there's so much noise now. And everybody's able to do it and try it and whatnot. But, to be one of those sort of early guys to get in and build it up and go through with a lot of the Ranger blocks that are here now, they're still around. And, we still, there's no real sort of rivalry there or animosity. I still talk to a lot of these guys, Joe at Blue Shirt Banter, and it's just fun. It's just, we all love the team and we all have our different takes on it, and we may disagree on certain aspects of what a team should do, but we're all just having fun. I mean, at the end of the day.
Yep, absolutely, man. There's no doubt about it. Well, this was fun, pal. This was good.
Nice to
talk to you, my friend.
How about us just basically talking about ourselves the entire time? Goodness, How vain are we? Goodness gracious. This is what it's come down to. There's no hockey. What else am I going to talk about? I'll talk about myself.
No. It's a trip, man. It's a trip because, like I said, I mean, it's just listening back to, look, we started talking about the 2014 team. And then, like I said, you start thinking about, what we were doing back then and like I said, where you were involved with everything. And this is an inside, so like I said, fans who maybe just getting to know me and you for the first time and a little bit of history of us, it's good to kind of look back, especially for me and you, like I said, because we put tons of time into this. And now here we are putting the least amount of time into a production. And
it's working, and we got a bunch of listeners.
Yeah, it's great, and you guys are all fantastic. So we're gonna keep doing this. We'll keep talking about it. There's lots of other teams. I put Domi up today in the promo, and I was just thinking about the early '90s teams that we had and stuff. And we got lots of stuff that we can kind of keep talking about here until our boys get back on the ice. Just everybody.
It's another thing too. You mentioned Domi, and like I said, people have been putting up clips and stuff, and you forget certain things from when you were younger and you watch. I didn't realize, I saw somebody put the clip up of Domi's first goal, which I remember watching because he rode the stick, and I remember dying laughing. I didn't know who Tiger Williams was. Obviously, that's who the guy who rode his stick, first was. I remember my dad telling me about it, but I didn't realize that, he played with Leach. And Leach actually assisted on the goal. You just sort of, when you're a kid, you just sort of forget the teams, and then they all sort of blend together and who played with who and that kind of thing. That's why, again, more of an appreciation of everything all the teams and the different years and the different experiences. I saw that. I was like, oh, my goodness, that Leach was on the team with Domi. That's right. You sort of forget those things over the years.
Oh, man, we have to talk about it. Look, when Leach, Granato, and Richter, when they would call, I mean, those were the kids back then.
Mm-hmm.
Here we are with the kids now, and look what that did, and look what that led to, and the rest is history. Obviously, leading up to '94, but it's amazing. And the early '90 teams, like I said, just Kelly Kissio, John O'Grodick, and James Patrick, and those guys that were playing, Willie Huber and Mark Hardy, and you just keep going back then, and what it kind of led to, ultimately Keenan coming in, and it was just there's a lot of great things we can definitely jump back and forth here with the Rangers, this team that we love and we miss right now so much. So it's all good stuff, man, and we're all connected one way or the other around the red, white, and blue, the Broadway Blues. So it's good stuff. All right, pal. Well, I don't know about you, Rangers Man Crush. I think just every week, I'll just say this, KD, and then you take it away and wrap the show up. But everybody's on the front lines, man. Thank you so much for what you're doing out there, and everybody else. Just stay healthy, stay home, keep it together, and keep talking to each other. And me and KD will be here, too. We're going to keep having some fun here and do this. And as long as we're not boring and boring ourselves, we'll keep doing this. So go ahead, KD. Give us a final word here, whatever you want to do.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm just going to leave it at, like you said, the sort of medical sort of professionals out there. I'll leave it at that for every week. I mean, at this point, you really can't point to anybody else. I mean, they're the ones who are away from their families, literally putting their lives at risk, their health at risk. And, putting in all these hours and trying to, keep this disease from spreading, keep people from literally dying from it. So, to pick anybody else at this point as a man crush, especially with no games going on, it would be, ridiculous. So, we'll stick with them. And I don't know if we'll have to do this every week, because unless something drastically changes, they're going to be the man crush. They're going to be the man crush of the, year. So we'll leave it at that.
All right, buddy. Say goodbye to folks, KD.
Bye, folks.
All right, everybody. Thanks so much again for listening to Go Rangers Radio. And as always, let's go Rangers! Stay safe and healthy out there.